Okay, first of all, Katie, thank you very much for coming.
No problem, Jay.
I feel like I know you very well because you've been a fantastic neighbor over the last year and a half, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's probably a lot of people out there that don't know you as well.
Okay.
So why don't you just give us a little bit of background about yourself?
So we opened Orange Theory. It will be, we're about a year and a half. So we opened July 20th of the year before. So 2018.
Yeah.
Man, time flies when you're busy. So we were in pre-sale prior to that. So we've actually been trying to gain members since March of 2018. Prior to that, I was a stay-at-home mom for 16 years. And I do have a background in graphic design and multimedia. So that's what I did prior to kids.
Okay.
I did that full time. So it comes in handy with Orange Theory though, having the background in graphic design to be able to, do up our ads and things like that from corporate. So yeah.
Okay. And now, that's a big change from staying at home to running a very busy business.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of early mornings too. So how was that adjustment?
Well, the one thing is my kids are teenagers. So I don't think I would have been able to do this had they been younger. I wanted to be there for them, obviously. And then Joe and I joined Orange Theory in Guelph is how it originally started. Back when I joined in pre-sale, when they opened 3 years ago, December. So when we joined there, I just fell in love with the workouts. And then there's kind of a story behind why we started the Orange Theory. But basically, had my kids been younger, it wouldn't have been a possibility.
Yeah.
But because they're 18 and almost 16, they can be on their own. One's in college, so it's a lot easier to do things like this.
Yeah.
There are early mornings. I wake up at 3:30 a.m.
I was going to say, tell them what time you get up.
I know, 3:30 a.m. And because the studio needs to be open around 4:30, 4:45. We have our first class at 5:15 a.m. And believe it or not, they are pretty full.
Yeah.
At the 5:15 and 6:30
John wants to go to one of those 5:15.
Yeah, well, it'd be good. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a great group of people. That's why I keep those shifts, because everyone always says, well, you don't have to do those opens. As the owner, I don't need to do those opens, but I actually love doing it. I love our members. We have such a great relationship. It's not just a job. We socialize, we have good jokes, we have good fun in the morning, and those 5:15 a.m. people are devoted members.
They're dedicated.
They are very dedicated. So
it's funny that you talk about the members that way, because for me, your employees are very much like that.
They are.
You have a group of people that live and breathe Orange Theory. How did you find people like that?
It's really, I think we've been blessed, honestly. We sort of, you put the ads out there, and we now we've realized we have to go on our gut instinct. I'm sure yours is the same here, right?
Yeah.
And finding those right people that really do care about the members. Because it isn't just a job for any of our employees at all. Our coaches included. None of them just come to work to be at work. They obviously come in to do their workouts as well. That is part of their job. They get a free membership at Orange Theory, so it's a great little perk. So they do have to do at least 2 workouts a week, but they even come in, like Amanda.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just had a baby.
She was there the day after?
20 some odd hours after having her child.
Because she missed you guys that much.
Because she missed us and wanted to introduce us to her daughter, which is fantastic. But she comes in already, she's on mat leave, and she just comes in to hang out. She misses everybody.
Yeah.
So, and all of our staff is like that, really. They come in on their off days, or if they're just driving by, or...
Well, before John got here, I was struggling with our gimbal for a pizza bomb. And I went next door to see if anyone could help me.
Yeah.
And they were like, have you Googled this? Have you tried this? It means nothing to them. But all 3 of them were trying to help so much. You don't come across that very often.
No, they are truly unique. We really, I know we stress that we're an Orange Theory family, the Orange family or whatever, but honestly, our staff, we are like an Orange family, but then it also includes our members.
Yeah.
So it's no other gym is really like that. I don't think that Orange Theory, across the board, not just our Orange Theory, but all Orange Theories are like that. I
feel like yours has a bit of a edge.
I'd like to say yes, but I don't know.
I know Orange Theory does stuff in the community, but I feel like you guys go above and beyond what's asked of you. What day was it?
Saturday was Heart Health fundraiser day with Orange Theory, because obviously part of what Orange Theory is all about is heart health.
Right.
We wear heart rate monitors to watch how our heart improves and how hard we're working. So we did do, instead of it just being a donation, what we decided, because we do ask a lot of our members as well for donations for things, and we just felt this time around, how about we just try and encourage people to show up. So let's fill those classes, and then Joe and I decided we would donate $5 for every person that comes that day. So it ended up being $560 that we donated, and that actually is going to the local cardiac care unit here just on Hespeler Road. So
and is that something that you guys decided to do on your own?
we did. So, and we actually have a member that works there, so we do know about it, and I also know from talking to her they're really underfunded. So they need new equipment, they need new things, so that money hopefully will go to good use with them for
absolutely
sure.
It will.
Yeah.
And what are some of the other things that you guys have done on your own outside of the Orange Theory requirements?
Right. So we try to get out into the community as much as possible.
You're everywhere.
So with Active Cambridge, with the Chamber of Commerce, with all things like that. So we try to get out to all of their events. The other thing we do is we partnered with Lang's, which is a local agency for fundraising for the community. So every Christmas we do a Lang's gift tree of giving. So basically members pull kind of like, I think they do this a lot of places, like the angel tree sort of thing. But basically they pull an ornament from the tree and it tells you the age or gender, and then on the back just an idea of what they are in need of. And it's a really heartwarming time. It's a really hard time as well, because you flip these over and it's like a teenager asking for socks.
Right.
And so people, obviously, our members are so generous. They don't just buy what's on the card, they buy more.
They go above
so
and
they
beyond.
go above and beyond every single time. And I think this year we almost did 200 gifts for the program. So Lang's is always extremely emotional when we bring that stuff. It usually takes multiple vehicles to take it over. So
well, I know that you can see in the window sometimes like all this stuff just piling up, which is amazing.
Yeah, so that's a huge program. Also with Lang's, we've been doing something called their 7th inning program. So that's a back to school program. So basically children that can't finish out grade 6, 7, and 8 at a traditional school, maybe it's for learning disability or being bullied or anything like that, they actually finish their schooling at Lang's. So they have teachers that come in and teach them there. And so they needed some back to school things like backpacks and just all of that kind of stuff. So we did that, and then we do have super generous members who actually donated $1,000 cash.
Wow.
So those children, it started off as $300 cash, and then they felt it was not enough because the Lang said that they were going to use that money to send the kids on their first ever field trip. These kids, some of them, they can't afford it, so they've never been able to go on a field trip before. So when the members heard that, they tripled their donation, and we donated $1,000
like giving me goosebumps.
cash. I know, it's just awesome. So when I called to let Lang's know, like they just burst into tears, and they're like, "You don't even understand." So they actually went to Niagara Falls, and they went to like the Wax Museum and out for dinner. I think they went to the Mandarin, which these kids had never been to the Mandarin before. So they filled the day with so many things, things with Candy Factory, like all these things, and that was all because of our members' generosity.
That's incredible.
So so it's a lot of fun doing things like that. And for a lot of our members, we do like sock and hat drives and things like that, just for the local shelter and things. But for some of our members, they love it because maybe they don't know where to drop stuff off. So this just makes it easy. They're coming in 3-4 times a week anyway, and then they see the program, they're like, oh, right, I can just go and buy baby food or socks or whatever and drop it off at Orange Theory. And they know we're giving everything and every penny to the organization that we're donating to. So. And
your members really do, like, they make such a big difference, because I know so many of them and have gone through certain things, but like, what's the best part about seeing the transformation in your members? Because I know you're in the middle of a transformation challenge right now.
Yeah, we are.
So tell us a little bit about the challenge, and then like what kind of gives you that goosebumps about your members and their stories.
So we are in the middle of our transformation challenge. So basically once a year, it's an 8-week program. This time corporate did allow for that 8 weeks, they could just do 6 of the 8 weeks, because a lot of people vacation, or because in those weeks they have to come to 3 workouts minimum per week. So some members were not joining the Transformation Challenge in the past because maybe they had a business trip or whatever. So they can choose the 2 weeks that maybe they can't do 3 workouts.
Okay.
So yeah, it's an 8-week program. It ends mid-March. And basically we do an initial weigh-in and a midpoint weigh-in and photos, and then we do a final weigh-in. So the end winners, it is based on percentage of body weight lost.
Yeah.
So that is the goal, and there is a $500 cash prize for top male, $500 cash prize for top female. But honestly, we were telling members it's not just about obviously winning, but it's not just about the weight loss. It could be to help you improve your base pace, like what you walk or run at or jog at. It could be just getting you in there 3 times a week because it's the new year.
It's habit
and everyone,
building.
exactly, it helps build healthy habits. And if you do something for 6 or 8 weeks, it's probably going to stick.
Absolutely.
Right? So we tried to tell people it wasn't just based on, don't worry about the weight loss. It is obviously, that's how we choose the winners.
Yeah.
But it's really, there's so many other transformations. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've seen so many transformations in our members, not just the weight loss. Like we've had people come to us and say, you saved our relationship.
Right.
And we're like, wow, I never thought that would be the case. How? Why?
Yeah.
And they said because it's something they do together, and maybe they got somewhere along the line they got disconnected from their partner, and now they have something like you've done the workouts.
I love them.
You did them with your brother.
I've drank the orange Kool-Aid.
Exactly.
There's no question.
But you've done it, and then you have something to talk about, something different, not just kids, not just work.
Well, we've been talking about it for the last 2 days because he's been so sore.
Exactly. Exactly. So it sort of rejuvenates that sort of thing as well, and we've had so many members come off of blood pressure medications, diabetic, medications, things like that. Even depression medications, they've come off of those.
Wow.
So it does do a lot more than just weight loss. Obviously, that's a perk.
Yeah.
That does happen. You can't do the kind of workouts we do, burn over 500 calories for a woman and 800 plus for a guy. You can't do those workouts 3-4 times a week and not see results.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't out-train a bad diet, but
diet has a lot to do with everything.
Has a lot to do with
a friend of mine always
exactly.
used to say abs are made in the kitchen.
Yes.
You can do whatever you want in a gym or anything like that, but if you don't have the right diet,
it's true.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. And we always tell members, if you're going to cheat at least with something like Piatto. It's at least, if you're choosing pizza, choose something healthier.
Well, on the weekend we had Colleen and her group over, and they were all like, I can't believe we're drinking beer after doing that workout. And I said, but isn't it the best time to do it? Because you're still burning so much.
Oh, yeah. And after our workouts, you burn up to 36 hours
That's
afterwards.
what I told them. I was like, if you want to do it, eat it now. Like, get it in.
Exactly. You deserve it after that kind of workout for sure. Yeah.
But speaking of diet, you were telling John earlier, you've come off dairy.
Yes.
And how does that make you feel, and why did you decide to do that? Because a lot of people struggle with dairy and gluten and sugar and all those things. So.
And obviously, I have to say, at Orange Theory, we're not allowed to give diet or weight loss advice or anything like that. We are just about the workout.
Yeah.
But just myself personally, and Joe, we actually decided to go and see a naturopathic nutritionist.
Yeah.
Because we were doing all these workouts, we were doing all these things. I felt we were eating healthy, but Joe is twice my size. I don't know what his portions are supposed to be.
Right.
So we really initially went for that, and then she suggested we do the blood testing for intolerances. So inflammatory responses. It's so worthwhile. It's worth the money.
Yeah.
So we did go and do that, and my main inflammatory response was to dairy, which I always thought it was gluten.
Yeah.
But a lot of times when you think about it, whenever you have gluten, you tend to have dairy as well.
Yeah.
So for me, it actually ended up being dairy. So once I eliminated dairy from my diet, this may not work for everybody, but for me, it was an instant 5 pounds off my belly.
Wow.
So, I mean, you can't spot lose weight, but that was an intolerance, and that's where I just retained water because of it. So, so that was a good thing to learn.
I'm very intrigued by diet because mine is,
of course,
not the greatest, as a lot of people know.
Your candy diet?
My candy diet. But I'm always interested to hear why people do it. And your daughter is vegan.
She is.
And you were telling me the other day about this trip.
I totally appreciate. I don't know if people know this, but at Piatto, you guys have put in
vegan
coconut milk for me.
Yeah, just for you.
To make my cappuccinos. That was my first when you guys moved in. I'm like, can you make cappuccinos with coconut milk?
Well,
which
you're
is
such
what
a great
this
neighbor.
is.
Why wouldn't we?
I know. So they stock it for me, and then you brought in vegan cheese because it's not just my daughter. It's like there's so many people that are either dairy free or vegan.
Yeah.
So it is a great option. Although goat cheese works for me as well.
Yeah.
That's why I always do the Stephanie.
The Stephanie, you can't go wrong.
It works perfectly for
Now,
me.
this has nothing to do with Orange Theory, but
Okay.
tell me a little bit about the trip that you were telling me about the other day,
that we
because
just
I think
went on.
that's pretty cool.
So it was our first vacation since we opened. Every other vacation,
Year and a
Joe
half, that's a
I
long
know,
time.
I know, 2 years pretty much. 'Cause
Yeah.
The last time was January of 2 years
wow.
ago, 2018. Basically, so a bunch of our friends turned 50. So they all decided that we were going to go away all together, so 10 of us, and we went to Curacao. So it was fantastic. So if you don't know where that is, it's in the Caribbean. It's just off the coast of Venezuela, so very, very close to the equator.
Yeah.
So
hot.
It was really, really hot, but there's such a breeze, so you just have to be careful, like myself, to not burn.
Yeah.
Because the wind just cools you off. So,
Yeah.
But it was so fantastic. It's a really quiet island.
And the color of the water?
Is like, I think one of our coaches, Adrian, said it looked like Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
It's turquoise blue. It does not look real. No filters required for this ever.
No.
It's just stunning. And then right off the shore, you went out to this one place, just snorkeling right out from our hotel, and it looked like you were at Ripley's Aquarium, just right there. And then we went to a different beach just up the coast. We rented a vehicle for the day. It was like a 12-seater passenger van. It was fantastic. Joe drove.
Okay.
And we went to different beaches that day, and we went to this one beach, and there were just like a dozen sea turtles just right there to just snorkel with. So,
That's so cool.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
was really
Again, has
cool.
nothing to do with what we're doing,
Nothing.
but it
nothing.
was kind of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So to
But,
bring
yeah.
it back a little bit to you and Orange Theory, like I know you said you joined because you went to the one in Guelph.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that you were going to open a fitness
No.
studio or?
I mean,
like,
yeah. So I joined in pre-sale, and the story goes that Joe would not join because he's like, I'm a guy. I don't do
Much like this
group
one at
fitness.
first.
Exactly. I don't do group fitness, not because he's a guy, but he just doesn't do, like, he's never done group fitness.
Yeah.
He's always had a personal trainer. I had always had a personal trainer. I knew that I needed to change something because you can't fork out for a personal trainer for as many years as we did.
Yeah.
And you don't feel like you can do it on your own still, although you think you would learn, but you still don't feel motivated to do it by yourself.
Right.
So when I think I got a flyer in the mail that said Orange Theory, I Googled it, looked it up, hadn't really heard anything about it. It's pretty new to Canada, like 7 years kind of thing. So I looked into it and I thought, you know what? Worst case, we go month to month. It's not a year contract, it's month to month. So the worst is 2 months right out front. That's it. Well, that's less than like 4 or 5 personal trainer sessions. So it's really not that big of a deal. So I joined, just never tried it, but I joined anyway. And I tried to get Joe to join because when you first open in pre-sale, it's the cheapest membership.
Right.
But he's like, no. But then they do 2 weeks of free trial classes.
Okay.
So I'm like, it's free, you can't
You have
say
to
no.
come with
You
me.
have to come. And sure enough, by his second or third visit, he was like, oh, okay, yeah, here's my credit card. I'll join. And then a month later, they ran something called a dry try, which actually we're running next month.
Yeah.
On the 21st of March, we're doing ours. And basically what a dry try is 2,000 meters on the water rower, a full dry try, 2,000 meters on the water rower, 300 body weight activities, and a 5K run. That's the full.
That's hard.
Then there's a sprint, which is half of everything. But then in Guelph, when they first opened, they actually did something called a team. Mm-hmm. So Joe was our rower, I was the floor person, and then we had another guy, Mike, who was our 5K runner. So we did that. And by the end, there was one member still on. She had never run 5K before. She'd only been a member for the month like the rest of us.
Yeah.
But they gave her the confidence to think that she could do a 5K run. And she was like, I can do this. I know I can. So she was on. She still had 1K to go. And the coach basically, we had all finished, and the coach basically ripped off his mic, hopped on the treadmill beside her, and he's like, I'll run this out with you. Within 5 seconds, I would say, everyone who had just finished, like people
Jumped
had just
back
finished
on.
the 5K run, They jumped back on the treadmill. All 12 treadmills were full.
Wow.
And everyone ran it out to the end. The rest of us who couldn't get equipment stood behind with cowbells and clappers, and were just screaming and yelling and cheering her on. And by the time when she finished, she broke into tears crying.
Yeah.
We were all crying. We're all hugging everybody. We're all crying. And Joe from across the room looks at me and he's like, this is what we need to do.
Yeah.
Because he had just sold a business. I was looking for something, and then we decided, we're like, yeah, let's start looking into this.
And what's the process like to open one?
Well, back then there was still territory available, so
Okay.
Cambridge was still, someone was selling the rights to Cambridge, so that was our closest location that we could get. Now it might be a little trickier because one good thing about Orange Theory is they don't oversaturate the market. So you'll have one in smaller cities, like Cambridge is a one Orange Theory town. Guelph, maybe one or two. Like, you're not going to see them popping up on every corner.
Yeah.
So, which is nice.
Yeah.
To help build that community and all of that. So.
Did you have to go through a screening process?
Yes. It's a long process. It really is. Like, it took us about a year.
Oh, wow.
From the start, because we started looking at it in like the February, and we didn't actually open into pre-sale until the March.
Wow.
So so it was over a year the time, because they don't just let anybody do it. They want to know that you're present owners. So Joe does a lot of the back end stuff. I work in the studio.
There's some days you're next door from 4 o'clock in the morning, which thankfully I'm not here.
I know.
But the other weekend you were here at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and you came in and yelled at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and brought
in a nice way.
And brought me pizza, so I can't complain.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's some days, when members join, they want their membership to start right away. So I don't like them to wait.
Right.
So I like to make sure that I get everybody initiated and send them the welcome emails and things like that. So we just make sure that everything gets done. So, and I might like to socialize. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
I doubt if you were just socializing over there that night.
No, not that. But whenever the members come in, we're always talking. And our members come like sometimes an hour before class. You don't need to.
Yeah.
But they just do, because they like to catch up with their friends or our staff or whatever. And so it's not just come in for the 1 hour workout.
No.
So,
and you guys do something that I love. For those of you that know me that are watching, it's a shower thing. So you do what do you call it? No shower happy hour.
Yeah.
I mean, that is right up my alley.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's exactly what it sounds like, right? You finish a workout, and you go for drinks.
We find somewhere that we're going to go for drinks and appetizers or whatever, and it's a good time.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great.
Yeah, and we buy.
Thank you.
We always buy the first round of drinks and the appetizers, and then if members choose to stay later, that's totally up to them.
And everyone just goes out sweating.
Yeah, right. Yep.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the post-workout beer.
Yes.
Yes.
That's partially why I don't work out in the morning, because it's not the time to have a beer.
Exactly. Well, it's noon somewhere, right?
Yeah, but then you got to work for the rest of the day.
True.
That's what we said after the workout last week. We were like, God, a beer would be really great right now, but we got to hold out.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I mean, that's one of the cool things that everyone does to keep that family together. And I'm sure that's part of the reason that the family over there is so close. Yeah. Because it's not just come in for a workout.
And we do our Hell Week parties as well.
Yeah.
So the 8 days prior to Halloween, we have grueling workouts.
Mm-hmm. I've done one.
Yeah, exactly. And then at the end, for all the survivors of Hell Week, we do a Hell Week party. Yeah. So everyone comes in their Hell Week shirts. That's what you get at the end.
It's like a badge of honor.
It is. It's a badge of honor. That's your prize at the end.
And those workouts aren't easy.
They are not easy. They bring it for those workouts for sure. Yeah, there's a team of experts in Florida that design the workouts, and for Hell Week, they really amp it up for sure.
And no workout is ever the same.
Never.
Yeah.
I always thought it was a joke, but literally we do the same workout all day. And that's around the world. Everyone around the world is doing it. So whether you're in Singapore, Australia, Canada, it doesn't matter. Everyone does the same workout that day. And then at the end of the day, they literally take it and shred it, and you never do it again.
Yeah.
So I've been a member for 3 years, and I've never done the same workout.
And it's great. Like, I have a friend in Newfoundland. She's been at Orange Theory for 2 years. Yep. Absolutely loves it. Done her 300 with the splat thing.
Exactly.
And I ask her, I'm like, did you do the workout today? Or I send her my email that shows
Exactly,
me
your
how many,
summary,
my summary, how
exactly.
many splat points I had,
Yeah,
how many
or
calories
burned. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
love seeing it on her social media and stuff too.
Yeah.
I'm like, good for you. That
Yeah,
was a hard
exactly.
one.
So you can challenge friends across the globe,
Yeah,
whatever it
it's
is.
pretty
Which
cool.
is really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And John gave me the
Good.
warning.
Yeah.
So anything that you want to share with our viewers before we
I think the
kinda wrap
main
things
thing
up?
is whether you've tried an Orange Theory or not, like always know as a Cambridge resident, your first workout is always free. So just come and give it a try. And like my husband, if you don't think that group fitness, and like John, if you don't think group fitness is for you, you don't know unless you try.
Yeah.
So just come and give it a try. It's not like any workout you've ever done before, really, and the community is like no other place, I would say.
Well, you know me, I don't like doing it alone.
Yes.
And you forced me one day.
Yeah,
You wouldn't let me
exactly,
quit.
exactly.
And I actually still really enjoyed it.
Because you have friends there anyway. Whether you brought them or not, you make friends there. So.
Just want to clarify something.
Oh.
I'm not against group fitness. I was part of a group fitness group in Shanghai for ages,
That's
as
true.
you know. I was apprehensive because I
Yes.
hadn't done any HIIT training since
Yes.
November.
Yes.
And I knew that my ass and legs would be like seized up for 3 days,
And they
which they
were,
still are. I'm
yeah.
in pain right now down here. So
The
I
key
love.
is you should have come back for another workout after.
That's what I
does
tried
it.
to say.
I was
Yeah.
so unbelievably sore. You can't even imagine. But we're coming back either tonight
Tonight.
or tomorrow.
Good.
The
Yes.
class was amazing.
Good.
The coach or trainer,
Yeah.
or
Coach.
the coach was amazing, Adrian, and I loved it. So I'll be back. I
Good.
just wanted to clarify.
Awesome.
We didn't say you didn't like group
I know.
fitness. You were just apprehensive about coming.
And that's how Joe was too. It's not that he's against group fitness. He just didn't think it was for him.
Well, like
That's
John said,
all.
he was like, I don't really want to go on a bike or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
it's traditionally a bike's not in there. It's
No,
there for options.
It's treadmill, water rower, and floor, and everything is there. You never have to look for equipment. You never have to wait for equipment.
Yeah.
It's maximum 24 people in a class. So if you've gotten into that class, everything is there. You won't have to worry. You don't have to
You don't
come
even have
extra
to think.
early. You don't have to think at all.
You
That's
can't,
the best
really.
part. No, you really
You just
can't.
think about
And
breathing.
afterwards, you really can't. Exactly. That's
Perfect.
right. Yeah,
Well, Katie,
that's
thank you so
awesome.
much for
No
spending
problem,
time with
Jay.
us
Thank
today. I
you.
really appreciate it. And
Awesome. Thanks
I'll
so
see you
much.
later
Yes,
this evening.
Exactly. Awesome.